I am about to fight Yamada Manabu, who just came off a fight against Ken Shamrock, a 30-minute match, and Ken couldn't put him in a submission. I was early in my submission game. I knew a few things and I knew him very well, but that was pretty much it. Now, I had Todd Bjornaton and Larry Papadopoulos in my corner. Became my friends because normally I never had a coach. So my manager would be in the corner, so it was better for them to be in my corner because they knew what to say. So I'm fighting him, and he's a side mount, and I have this trick that I push him over me. And if he posts his arm next to my head, I slap on a side choke, I roll him on his back, and bada bing, bada boom, I got him. And what do you know? Like a minute into the fight, I have him in that side choke. And I'm squeezing, and they're screaming in the corner, and Larry and Todd, squeeze, squeeze. I used to do 9 one-arm pull-ups at the time. I was very strong, you know. So I'm squeezing with everything I had, and suddenly I hear, I go, what's going on? So I'm asking him, I say, are you okay? But there's no reaction, so I let him go. And his eyes are wide open. His mouth is a little bit open. Bubbles of blood come out of his mouth. I'm freaking out. I think I killed the guy. So watch the video. I'm going to push him over. And now I slap a side choke on. And I couldn't believe it that I had this chest side choke, so I gave it everything I had. I kept squeezing and squeezing, and watch his right arm. It drops right now. He's already out, but I'm still squeezing as hard as I can. The referee stops the fight, and I choked him out. And this was kind of scary because I really thought I killed him there. There was blood coming out of his mouth. You can't see it from there. You will see there my reaction. Oh my God. This one was a close one. So, as you can see, yeah, I was avert, but, you know, nothing happened. He's alive. Everybody's happy. And now he told me that I was just lucky, you know, that, which I was, by the way. I was lucky. But who says that after a fight? You know, it was just luck. I go, okay. And he wanted a rematch. I go, sure, but you're going to have to wait a little bit because I have a bunch of fights to go to. So my next fight was Ken Shamrock. And I lost that fight by way of knee bar. But that fight made me the fighter that I am today. That was the last fight I lost. Because from that moment on, I was still doing a lot of striking. I forgot about all striking, did it 3 times a week or so, just tie pads really hard. And then the rest, it was 2 or 3 times a day, only submissions. And we kept on doing it, kept on doing it, kept on doing it. And suddenly I became obsessed with it. And I started really enjoying it. I mean, I became so obsessed, I would wake up in the middle of the night. I know a bunch of you guys heard that story. I would wake up my wife because I would dream a submission, put her into submission, ask where it hurts, write it down. Next day, I would try it in the class. You know, and when you start doing things a lot because you like it, well, you do it with pleasure. And once you do things with pleasure, you do it a lot. And once you do it a lot, you get good at it. And that was it. The next 8 fights after my last loss, I won by submission. 7 submissions and 1 submission control. I mean, the first one that I had was Funaki. That was an inverted heel hook. Then I fought Maurice Smith. That was a knee bar for what I believe. Jason DeLucia, that was also a heel hook. Then I went to Frank Shamrock, that was a decision. That was but because of submission control, I had him 2 times in a knee bar, and the referee broke it up. It was really weird. I don't know what it was. After that, I fought Suzuki. I gave him a front kick to the solar plexus. He fell forward. I got him in a guillotine choke. Then Maurice again. Maurice Smith. Beat it that time, I believe, with a rear naked choke. The Mataleo, kill the lion, as they call it in Brazil, right? Then I fought Guy Metzger. Oh no, Yanagisawa first. Yanagisawa I fought in a 27-minute match. This guy was my shortest match, 43 seconds, was my very first fight. And then it became my longest match, 27 minutes, because look at my hand. I broke my hand on the very first punch that I threw. So I submitted him 5 times in a 30-minute fight. Yes, the rules of Pancras, I will go over that after this. Anyway, after that I fought Guy Metzger. I put him in a leg lock. Ooh, Inagaki, I believe 2 liver kicks and then a knee to the solar plexus when he was sitting on his knee. And then I fought Frank again, Frank Shamrock, and that was the fight that everybody knows when he sticks out his tongue to me and we have this whole thing going. Anyway, now it was time for Funaki. And Funaki was the guy that I lost to the very first time. So I was a completely different fighter now, so I had to fight him. I'm going to show you just the result because I'm going to talk about that fighter later on. Here's the result. So that was a big one, right? And I have to say, thank you to Larry Papadopoulos, because what I did before the fight, I went to Australia, since Australia has only 1 hour time difference with Japan. So I thought, since I had only one sparring partner in Holland, Leon van Dijk, I thought if I go to Larry Papadopoulos, he has a whole gym, he's a great coach, and I can train there for 3 weeks, get acclimatized, whatever they call it, to the time difference, and then I fight Funaki at my very, very best. And that was the result. So now, after that fight, I'm going to face Yamada Manabu again. Remember, the first fight was 1 minute and 5 seconds. Well, here for you, the second time I fought him.
Fight!
Liver kick. Watch this nice front kick. Oh. I did the same one with Maury Smith as you saw before. I make it like a roundhouse kick, and then I turn it into a front kick. It throws your opponent off, and then you will hit him full with the front kick. Now you remember that I was in the position with Minoru Suzuki, and I said, oh, there were more things that I could do, and that was this position. This. I was going for the knee bar and everything. Watch what you can do right now. I'm going to use my left foot to give his, what is it, other foot to me, and here we go. That's what they call a toe hold, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what they call the root and jump.
Okay, so after that fight, we come home at the hotel. We shower, we go to a restaurant. We had a good time, ate sushi, start getting drunk, of course, because that was something we did at the time all the time. I don't do it anymore. I said it last time, but hey, it happened. We learn from our mistakes, right? And that's why I'm telling you. I remember a big Andre the Giant handprint on the wall at the restaurant, at the sushi place. It was giant. I mean, so much bigger than my hands. It was crazy. And I got very long fingers, you see. Anyway, I go back to the hotel, and I'm drunk out of my mind. And now I think it's funny to climb out of the window on the 42nd floor with like this railing, so my toes would hang over it, and knock on the window of my neighbor because I thought that was Frank Shamrock. So I need to break this thing, this plastic thing, the cover that they had for the handle to pull open, because of course they're not going to let you open a window. I had to break something off. So I'm opening it up and I'm drunk, ha ha ha, and I'm going outside, 42 stories high. Man, this thing still gets me till this day. Anyway, I start moving to the other side, I knock on the window, and what do you know? A couple opens up. And I go, oh, come inside. It means I'm sorry. I go back, ha ha ha, laughing. And I'm inside, I lock the door, and telephone. Immediately, security again. One need to come up. And I was acting like, hello? Yeah, you can come up. And I go, okay, what do I do? I broke the thing. But I was chewing gum. So I start taking little pieces of gum like MacGyver, and I start putting it on the side, and I pressed it over the handle, and what do you know? It worked. So I jump in bed, put the blankets over me, and they come storming in. They didn't even knock on the door. And immediately they went to the window, they opened it, and they saw the plastic thing sitting there. Gumedasai. That's what they said. As you know, what I just said, that meant, I'm sorry. Dude, it was so crazy. Later on, I thought I was very happy it wasn't Frank, because Frank at the time was the same guy as me. We both changed quite a bit. And I'm pretty sure he would have come out as well. And then maybe, again, I would have been telling the story because it was just freaking out of control. So, again, we learn from our mistakes. Don't do stupid stuff. Best thing is not to drink at all, guys. That's the best thing. And if you do it in moderation, because, boy, that one, still till this day, sometimes when I sit in the car and I think about it, I go, oof, oh, I freak it out because one little slip, and that could have been it. So I wish you all the best. That was my crazy story for this time. Up to the next one. Godspeed, everybody. And party on, yes, in moderation.